Hi guys, I have another video here for you. And before I get started on doing any milling, I just want to kind of backtrack a little bit, give you guys an explanation as to what I'm trying to accomplish with these videos. When I first started investigating my whole sawmill journey here, there was a lot of questions about this particular sawmill. It wasn't so much the sawmill itself, it was the log handling capabilities. In my investigation, there was no videos out there that dealt with rolling the log up, except for one video by, I think he's Western Virginia outdoorman, WV outdoorman. He showed rolling one cherry log up, and other than the handling capabilities, that was the only video I've seen. So I had a lot of questions about the rolling of the log using the winch, and so what I was trying to do was to show standalone rolling the log only using the winch. Now, is that how I normally do it? No. I actually use a combination of my cant hook with that winch, which I'll show you on this video here. With the rolling the log all the way around the mill and then up to the mill, there is a lot of forestry forums out there that kind of discourage people from getting into this business, and what they are basically trying to say is that you need basically a minimum $50,000 to $75,000 investment to get started in this. I just wanted to show you don't have to have that. You can move the log with a cant hook and a cant hook only if that's the only thing you have. Sometimes that's the way I do it, but not every time. The way I had the mill positioned here in the other videos, if you'll pay attention, the log pile was at the end of the mill. I positioned the mill like that intentionally because the homeowner here has a skid steer that I was mostly using to load the logs onto the mill. Since the time change happened, he hasn't been available on the weekends, so that skid steer wasn't available. So the last few logs I just had to load like you saw me load on that one video. Since then, that log pile is gone, and I have rotated my mill around, so now, and I'll show you here. Got my ramps there, and there's the log pile, and most of these are just under 12 feet. I think they're about like 9 and 10 feet logs. So some of these I'm going to cut down to 6-footers. That one right there is a 6, but the rest of these are all 9 and 10. And the one I have on the mill, that one is, I cut that down to 6.5 feet because this is going to be all 1x6s for fence pickets. And that's what I'm going to do in this video, is I want to mill this log and show you start to finish milling this log non-stop, non-sped up, and just show you what the mill can do itself. I do have the power feed on it, which now that I have that thing, even if I had to spend all $1,000 on it, it would be well worth it. It to me is a lifesaver, and maybe not a lifesaver, but definitely a backsaver, that's for sure. Like set that thing and stand back and let it go. So this is all set up. The log is, I believe, 21 inches on one end, 19 on the other. And before I get started, I want to show you one other thing that I haven't shown you on the other videos. That is the toe boards. That was another thing I had a question about, is how does that work? What do they look like? Where are they? And the toe boards are right there, and you adjust them with this hand crank. The hand crank on this one goes right there, but I don't need it on that end. I needed it on this end. So you can see I got this side cranked up. Sorry about the shaking. I cranked it up an inch up off the bed, and that thing just goes right on there, and you crank it. That's all there is to it. Definitely want to make sure you remove that, otherwise your mill head will hit it. So let's get busy milling up a log. this is what I was talking to you about. Using the cant hook with the knot roll. Just suck that thing up there a little bit tight. And when I have to get another grip on this, that probably if I had it up a little higher, it would have held that a little bit better. But I can come back and get another bite on it. This thing's not rolling back on me. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to suck it up a little tighter. My second roll, I do a complete 180 on that thing. Another thing you never want to forget. That toe board up there tight. Flip it over. Better lower it. Otherwise, put a big old taper on that log. This log here, I want to finish out this cut right here at 12 1/8. So what I'm going to do is bring this down to 12 1/8. I'm going to set my gauge here to 4/4 line. I'm going to go up, and I'm only going to be paying attention to that 4/4 mark. Then when I get down to my 12 1/8, every cut that I make between here and there is going to be 4/4. Also want to make sure I'm doing this. There's our first flip. that? That works nice. About straight up on there. I'm going to need to throw that end up. There, I'm at 20 inches. Here. Oh, 21. I'm not even going to worry about it. It doesn't make sense that this is 20 inches. Oh, that was to the edge. My bad. I'm at 22. Here, 21. I can raise that up about a half inch. Some people wouldn't worry about it.